Okay, so I have to get my COVID vaccine today, and the only time I could get it was during our live stream, which means we're not live today. But I decided to do something else. So I was supposed to do a deep dive on the election because we keep getting these really weird cards, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to trance out. And a lot of you probably never seen my deep dives before because they're for members only. So only if you are on my Patreon or thirdeyechampagne.com can you see these usually. So I decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for you guys instead of throwing cards on anything. I just thought, let's just do the deep dive now. I had to reschedule it. Weird stuff it's been happening around me trying to read on this election, which I think is interesting. But I was going to do it, and at the last minute, I had to reschedule. It was kind of a weird situation. Anyway, so I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. That's why we're in the living room. Welcome. And I'm just going to go straight into it. So with these deep dives, I zone out. I zone out. I don't use cards. It's on one subject only. And I'm going to try to figure out all this weird energy around the US 2024 election. I'm just going to see what comes out. Okay, so the first thing I see is Trump hobbling. So I'm getting a lot of pictures. I'm not going to try to interpret them. Okay, I'm just going to tell them to you. I see Trump hobbling. He's on a stage and he's hobbling. It's like he's hunched over. Okay, and then he's at a podium and he's saying the words no over and over and over again. He's also dressed in his golfing outfit, which I don't know if that's just me or what, but it's interesting because he's not in a suit and tie. He's in like his little golfy outfit. Okay, and then the next thing I'm seeing is all these pictures, which usually doesn't happen for me, by the way. The next thing I'm seeing is Kamala Harris, and she's at a rally. She's like, woohoo, like she's holding hands with Tim Walz. It's a big woohoo vibe. But the next thing I see, she's sitting in a chair and she's like pensive, like she's like this, like she's pensive. Nobody's sure what's going on at first. This is what the guides, okay, so this is all guides, okay. Nobody's sure what's going on at first, but the results will soon become clear. It is confused because it is confused. In other words, you are seeing different outcomes because the energy is quite muddled. But truly, there is only one outcome. The outcome is Trump. We say this not in a political way, but to warn you that no matter the outcome is Trump. In other words, you will have to deal with him one way or another. This is something that we warn you of at this moment. Remember this. The outcome is Trump. He does not simply go away. One way or another, he must be dealt with. He is not in any security. I'm not sure what that means. He is not in any security. He is not in any secure place. So I'm now seeing a picture of a Harris of Victory. She's on a stage. Looks like there's a bunch of balloons falling. Yeah, I see her dancing. I see her dancing. And they're playing her song, whatever that, whatever that means. They're playing her song. But no, we're gonna have to. There's gonna be a reckoning with this guy and his supporters. Sitting here right now, I have to say that it's fairly clear to me that there's a Harris win, and she is the person that is sworn in January. And there's a death, but there's a death around this woman. I've seen this before. I see her crying. She's crying. She's at a funeral. She's standing right by a casket and she's crying. No, he doesn't win. But he's still a threat. He is. He really is. Like this guy. Oh, he's not going to stop until he's stopped. It's a close race. It's actually a really close race. I think she just squeaks in. She just squeaks by. And he's just here. He's just here. He's making a mess. He just keeps making messes. He's not done making messes. I also see some kind of imprisonment or restriction for him. Mm-hmm. This is weird. I don't even want to make predictions around this election in a way. Let me put it this way. I want to read on it and I want to read cards on it and I want to look at it a lot because for a reader, for an intuitive, for somebody that loves tarot, this is highly intriguing to me as a mystic academic, I guess you could say, or an academic mystic. It's intriguing to me. It's very interesting to me to see this kind of stuff. But I hesitate to make actual predictions because listen, this is how weird I feel about it. Everything, and it's not me. It's not me doubting my abilities. Honestly, it's not. Everything I just said, I'm like, and I could feel it. I'm like, okay, now I feel her winning, and it still feels off to me. It's still, even seeing it, I'm still like, I don't know. Like it still feels really weird and off. Like he's gonna pull something somehow. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. I'm gonna keep reading on it. I'm gonna keep doing this reading. I'm just like, this is like, let me sidebar. This is wild to me. I mean, I just saw it. I fully just saw it. I feel it. I just feel it. I feel the energy we're going into, and it's definitely going towards Harris. However, the energy's so weird. I honestly don't trust what I just saw. I literally saw a full picture of her like winning and dancing at the governor's ball, right? I still don't trust it. I really don't. The energy is so strange. It's so weird. I'm gonna keep looking, just kind of see. I just see all this volatility, and election day is really weird. Guides are showing me like lightning strikes, like lightning hitting the ground, different places hitting the ground, hitting the ground. This is going to be weird. This whole thing is going to be weird, and there's going to be information that comes out between now and actual election day. Well, even now, it's like, oh, by the way, Russia's paying, like we didn't know, Oh, Russia's paying everybody to, say a bunch of dumb shit, and and then Putin's like, oh, I endorse Kamala Harris. Okay, Putin. Um, you know, there's going to be more of this. It's more just like, what? Like, well, even, the attempt on his life. It's like, what? The fact that it happened is weird. The fact that the Secret Service dropped the ball is weird. The fact that we don't know anything about this guy that did it, weird. You're getting so much more of it. We're just not, this is just going to be the strangest. It's so funny because, the big insult right now is to call the conservative Trumpy people weird. But I'm like, no, but honestly though, like that is so apt. It is so apt because this whole thing feels friggin' weird. And I see all this volatility. Um, I mean, everybody's going to come away from that debate on Tuesday going, "Oh, Kamala Harris won that debate, and Trump is crazy," and the Trumpers are going to come away saying Trump won the debate. It's like two different realities. And this is what I see. This is what I see. Okay, it's two different realities in across the board, and I wonder if that's what's making for volatile energies. I see one big, massive group of people, which I'm not quite a part of, but I see them and they're like, oh, there's no way. Of course, Kamala Harris is going to win, and that's all there is to it. Like, it's the only logical conclusion. But then I see this other big, huge group of people that are like, of course, Trump's going to win. There's no other way around it. It's the logical conclusion. And both sides are thinking my world is going to end if she gets in, and the other side's thinking my world is going to end if he gets in, and it's like making for this really bizarre energy around the whole damn thing. And it's also like logically she should win, but I don't know, like by a landslide, right? But I don't think that's going to be the case for her. The energies get stranger and stranger. They don't get less strange as time goes on, they get stranger and stranger. And there's going to be weird stories coming out on election day, just weird stuff like almost like how do I want to say, like myth making stories, like, oh, election day in 2024, a group of white dudes in white shirts encircled my car and wouldn't let me drive forward as I was trying to get to the polling place, or I saw them holding a ritual and they were all dressed in black, like weird stuff. Polling places like catching on fire, even. I mean, oh, wait, we lost these votes. There's more votes here. Just very strange. The whole thing feels very, very strange. It feels prolonged. It feels like there's an initial, oh, this is how it is. And then it's like there's doubt cast all over it. Oh, this is going to be, and I'm assuming it's because, and this is my assumption, okay? I'm making a mental leap here. This is not a psychic prediction, but I'm assuming that is coming through psychically because she's going to win. And of course, he's going to be like, oh, I was robbed, just like he did in 2020. And that would, quote unquote, cast doubt. But who knows? Honestly, who knows how it comes out? But I'm telling you, immediately it's like, oh, we have this information, we know who's won, and then there's all this doubt cast all over it. People are going to act up one way or another. You're going to have people acting up. I don't think that is that's not escapable. You're going to start to see a lot of power plays being made. If she was going up against an ordinary candidate, I think she would win by a landslide, but she's up against an entire cult. They're showing me that the Trump team, it just sows more and more confusion, more and more and more and more and more confusion. And I would just like to reiterate, I don't give a shit about Kamala Harris. I just don't care. I don't fan out on politicians. I've said this a million times, but I don't. So I'm not really biased towards her. I don't care. I mean, obviously I don't want Trump to win because he's a fascist fucking moron, but um that's about it, you know. That's about it. So I think it's a pretty unbiased reading, just the way I'm looking at stuff. I really don't have a horse in this game. But she has a lot of power. She's doing a good job. I think she does win. Her presidency is off though. It's it's hits and misses. It's not consistent. I mean, and when I say it's like hits and misses, I mean major hits and misses where it's like, wow, she really screwed us all over on that one. Oh, but we love this over here. One thing that worries me about her when I look at her is she's sort of just wanting to keep the status quo in a way. So, I mean, that's fine. But as my personal wants, needs, desires, I'm a pretty progressive person. So I like to see things that are helping more people and doing more for the environment. I don't know that we're going to get a ton of that out of this woman. Because I just see her like, we'll maintain. We will maintain, which again, fine, you know, but I wish there was more. I don't think there's going to be more. But he does something screwy. This guy's going to do something screwy, this man, Trump. He's going to do something screwy. Like everybody's like, oh wow, didn't see that one coming. Maybe he does flee the country. Maybe he disappears. Maybe he tries to take the whole damn thing over. You know, maybe he's out there giving orders in the streets, seeing who's going to help him out. I don't know, but he does something real screwy, just out of left field. What the f is he doing? And it's dramatic. It's something big. It is big. It is dramatic. And everybody's like, oh my Lord, what is he doing? This is a man, he's just trying to drag himself across the finish line. He's just doing this. It's weird. It's like, I'm doing it to do it. He doesn't want the job. Definitely doesn't want the job. Does not want the job. Does not want to move back into the White House. Actually doesn't like living in the White House. Does not want this job. Is actively pushing away the presidency, except in the case of, I want the title. You know, I want the title. I want to have the title. I want to stay out of jail. I want to be the big man again. I want to show everybody. That's one of the biggies that's coming through. And I have to show everybody how good I am, how cool I am. That I was right and they were wrong, and that kind of stuff. But not like, oh, I want the job. Also, what they're showing me is that like the votes have already been decided. Like in other words, there's really no undecided voters. Everybody's already made a decision. That's what they're telling me. Everybody, there's barely anybody's like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. No. They're like deep down, even if they say they're not sure, deep down, everybody's already made the choice. Everybody's already made the choice. Everybody's already decided who they're going to vote for. You know, even now in early September, everybody's decided. There's no such thing as an undecided voter. That's what the guides are telling me. And one of those kids is really going to enter politics, probably Don Jr., but somebody jumps in and like does very, very well. Very, very well. The guides are telling me there's so much confusion because there's so much tension has been created. And that the candidates are bringing a lot of just sort of bizarre energy. Both of them, they're bringing a lot of bizarre energy with them for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't see him winning. I do see him cheating. Energy's all over the place. That's what the guides are telling me. The energy just with this whole election, it's everywhere. It's big, very, very like more so than in other elections in the past for America or around the world. It's like they're like, hey, this one is wild. The energy being generated is out of control. And it can be seized, it can be used, this energy, but it's not. Nobody's actively doing anything with it. So it's just sort of sitting there and kind of creating this vibe. There's telling me misinformation. I mean, just all over the place between now and then, even after the election, just lies, 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 misinformation, misinformation, misinformation. Um, they're also telling me that, yeah, her presidency is going to be weird. Uh, they're saying she can't be trusted, like not in like a bad way, but like she can't deliver. She can't deliver. She's going to say a bunch of shit and act like she's going to do a bunch of shit, and she doesn't. She can't deliver. But it's uneven because some stuff it's like, holy shit, can you believe that Harris just did this? And then other things you're like, like she dropped the ball so hard it's ridiculous. I think she's going to bulk on the on getting rid of the Trump tax cuts. I think she's going to keep them. Yeah, it's President Harris. Which is funny because I never saw her as being president. I really did not see it on her. Guides are telling me that Trump, quote unquote, finishes his life in a dream. I have no idea what that means, but that's what they're telling me. He's not well, but he's not near death. He's actually, they don't want to replace him. I mean, they do, but they don't. They want the figurehead. They want to trot him out like Weekend at Bernie's and hey, give us your vote, but they don't want him actually running things. They don't. So it's wild because Republicans, they're like, yeah, let's trot him out, and he's got all these people behind him, and he can get the people going, and da 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 da, and built-in audience, built-in voters. But then on the other hand, they're like, oh God, we don't want to have to deal with him anymore. We don't want to have to, you know what I mean? We don't want to have to carry his load, deal with him firing a bunch of people, acting like a friggin' toddler. He's got a lot of foreign money being given to him. Whether it is for the election or not. It feels like people are just paying him. They're like, here you go, buddy, have some of this. I'm paying my rent for Trump Tower, bought and paid for by the Russians. Anybody, not just them. He'll go to the highest bidder. He's bought and paid for by damn near everybody. And the guides are telling me that corporations, like pretty much every corporation, is like Team Trump. They're pouring a lot of money into this guy. This guy's getting a lot of money poured into him, a ton of it. I don't know that it's going to make a difference or a large difference for him, but he's got so much. Everybody's just tossing money at him left and right. Industry, business, they're really pushing for Trump. Most of them are really, really pushing for Trump. He's got a lot of fans. But the guides are telling me he's going to be eliminated. Yeah, he's out of it. He's definitely out of it. I'm telling you, he does well. He does well in this election. Like I think that's why it's freaking me out so bad because it's close. It's close. The energy is volatile. I I feel like I could do the same reading in a week and might start seeing different pictures. I mean, this is what I'm saying. When you watch this particular election, and obviously you guys know I don't shy away from making predictions, but you got to watch this with a different eye because this right now it's not for me. It's not saying oh Harris is going to win and that's all there is to it because it's about observing this energy, what's going on. It's about seeing where it's going to go next. That's what I would just encourage any viewer to focus on. Like if I just I don't know, dude, it feels weird to me. I'm not saying this. Believe me, I'm not trying to hedge my bets. I'm really not. Um, but I truly feel I could do this exact same reading next week and see pictures of Trump winning. Seriously, seriously, that's how bizarre the whole damn thing feels to me. Right now, though, and it's been pretty consistent with Harris, I will say, but I've never seen energy like this before. And my guides, I mean, you heard them, they're not very helpful. You're confused because the energy is confusing. Great, thanks. That's helpful. Thank you. I mean, I get it. They're saying we're creating a lot of energy, and everybody's very divided, and that creates a lot of tension, which creates a lot of energy, and the energy's not being used, so it's kind of just out there floating around, and causing this almost obscuring of the future, or the ability to even shift around the future. I would say I'm not in love with any of this stuff, to be honest. And I keep seeing him. I mean, this is like, I feel like it's going to make January 6th look like child's play almost. Not that there's going to be those kinds of issues, but with him, the way he's going to want people, that he wants them to do stuff. The way he's going to try to direct people getting crazy, people being violent. I think it's all here. Guides are telling me he tries to raise an army, but that he fails spectacularly. Flees the country. I think he's going to run. Kind of doesn't matter. He's stuck one way or another, whether he's incarcerated or it's house arrest or he disappears and he has to be like Julian Assange, and like just live in like an embassy or something. He's imprisoned. There's a prison here for him. To see, it's not the White House. He'd have to pull some really tricky stuff to get his ass in there. There's going to be legal challenges all over the place, and just strange. Like I said, from beginning to end, it just gets stranger and stranger. Almost like oh, this election is cursed. You know what I mean? Like you have these like myths of like, oh, I bought this house and then I lost my job and then my wife left me and then the walls came down and then my electrical went and then I found out that it was built on a old graveyard. I mean, it's like this is how I feel about this election. It's almost like it's cursed in a way to just have all this bizarre stuff go on with it. I mean, well, you see it. Biden drops out, Harris comes in. Pelosi's trying to get rid of Harris. I mean, this is a mess. Attempt on Trump's life. Like it's crazy town. JD Vance and his couches. It's nuts. It's absolutely nutty, and it's not going to stop. But right now, as of now, I see her winning and I see him losing it. And when I mean, not just losing the race, but I mean losing it, just enraged. And he's going to try to get people to do stuff. Oh, defend me, blah, blah, blah. Jan 6 all over again in a way. They can't get anywhere near anybody. They can't. But It's, you know what? And it doesn't matter if he wins or loses because his supporters are emboldened no matter what. They just get more and more entitled. It's got like George Zimmerman vibes for me. They just get crazier and crazier. What else? Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry. Sorry, I started to get a little bit of a leg cramp. Yeah, he goes down swinging. He goes down swinging. And it's, yeah, it's legal. It's this, it's that. How close, honestly, like, asking, okay, well, you keep saying the energy's really volatile and things are shifting around. How close would we be to the alternate reality of him winning? I'm telling you, damn close. But I can't, like, it's not coming in a clear picture, which is why I'm going, like, it's her. But I do wonder if he leaves the country. I really do. I have a feeling that he will just bilk these people, whatever they're paying for, his bobblehead, another fucking red hat. He's he'll make money off it till the end of time. He will be revered as a god, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Like, these people, when he passes, it's gonna be like Jesus died on the damn cross. Like, they will revere him as a god. That people will be doing stuff in the name of Trump. Yeah, he breaks. Uh-uh. I'm looking at him and I keep seeing hunched over, deterioration. There's no way this guy can win. Again, I say that now. I should do another deep dive tomorrow and see what comes up. But right now, there's no way. And I don't think there's any way for him to steal it. I think he's going to try to steal it, quote unquote, um, one way or another. But it looks like it's rock solid. But you know, it's also weird. I feel like there's the legal challenges take forever. Like over, just over and over and over again, forever and ever and ever. There's just these legal challenges. Of course, God, leg cramp. And then I'm trying to stretch it out so I can keep reading. But it looks, obviously there's going to be a refusal. I mean, we know this. This is his playbook. It's going to be a refusal to concede, and they did this and they did that. And but the question I'm interested in is how far will he take it? And the answer is he could go all the way. Yeah, he'll go all the way. Like as far as he can. Everybody open carry and meet me at the Capitol Mall in 20 minutes kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff. One of the biggest things I keep seeing too is the Trumpers' entitlement. It just gets worse. It actually gets worse. Whether he wins or loses, it gets worse. I mean, it's just to the point where they're really going after people and thinking they're justified. Guides are also telling me that like these people like Trump and Elon, they're all trying to come together to basically just build this god awful society. Just like basically build some, patriarchal racist god awful society. But they're like, they all see this opening. They all see an opening and they're all trying to go through it. But the guides are telling me that they're like, basically the opening will close. They will not be able to implement all this horrible stuff that they're talking about implementing. They won't. People are safe, but he's extremely volatile. I mean, it's just his energy's all over the map. And he desires violence. He likes it. He's into it. And if you're looking for any other scandalous stuff, especially the Epstein stuff and him, you're not going to get it. Stories are being buried. Stories are 100% being buried on behalf of Trump. Anything that, you know how, I mean, he was just in court and they were like, he intentionally buried stories. Guess what? He's still doing it. He's 100% still doing it. This election is strange. The whole thing, it's just too bizarre. The energy is too bizarre. Even if he loses, and I'm pretty sure he will, but he's going to make a hell of a mess on his way out. A hell of a mess, and not care. Let's see, is there anything else? No. No, I think that's going to do it for now. I'm going to put myself to the test. I'm going to do another one of these, maybe end of September, and see if anything has really shifted. But right now, that's all the stuff that I see. Pretty obvious. I mean, he has an obvious playbook, so there's shit you can call out. You don't need to be psychic to think that he's going to do it. What I'm interested in is what happens around election day or on election day. It's going to be strange. It just the whole energy, everything, all of it, like, oh, we didn't count this. Oh, we counted this twice. Oh, this broke. Oh, that broke. Like, just very strange. My name's not on the thing, but I signed up to vote. All that kind of stuff. Right now, I don't see it succeeding. Right now, I see a Harris win. But I'm curious. Let's let it marinate for a while. Hopefully, we'll see it consistently again in a couple of weeks. And on that note, I'm going to go get jabbed so that I can go out in public again, because I've been really staying in the house a lot just because the cases are very high. I am open for October readings. They are on sale. I think it's $175. I think it's cheap. It might be $200. It's cheap. Cheap. I can look it up. But I'm on sale for October readings. I'm going to look it up for you guys so we can see. But they're past life readings. And I don't do a regression. It's different. I do a reading. It's unlike anything I've ever gotten. It's very unique. Let's see, what are they on sale for? They are on sale. They're on sale for $200, so it's $175 off. And I will read you the little blurb. Curious about that person you can't seem to let go of, have a fear of heights or water, and you don't know why. Interested in how many lives you've had with someone or why the relationship is the way it is. Looking to understand and clear blocks you seem to have been born with. Well, this reading is for you. It's a 60-minute recorded Zoom. We look into all of that. So like I said, it's different. It's not just me saying, oh, you were this and you were that. We do that, but then we apply it to your life now so that it's relevant. There's only a few spots left. Once again, if you're looking for a 2025 reading, get in Club 3333 because they're going to get first dibs, and I always sell those out. So, and then the other thing too is we did do the Biggie and Tupac Drunk Tarot last week. It was epic. Can I just tell you that the information I was getting from what I was talking to, which I assume was Tupac Shakur, but who knows? But the information I was getting, he was like, I don't want to talk about gossip. He didn't want to talk about it, which I feel like is very Tupac, but he didn't want to talk about it. He was like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to tell you about how life works. I want to tell you about how the afterlife works. I want to tell you about how time works. It is so worth the watch. I know that I feel like we talked to Bobby Kennedy near the end, but I was so honestly like, and I know I talked to Christopher Wallace. Um, we did talk about the murders and who did it and why and all of that and what happened and uh, but the thing that sticks with me is all that stuff that Tupac was just like, this is how life works. This is how it is. This is how it is on the other side. This is all, dimensions. It's well worth the watch. Again, if you join Patreon or thirdeyechampagne.com, it's $11 a month. You get that video plus the 600 video archive. Plus, for the next 30 days, you get to be with us. You get to be on the exclusive live streams. I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do another group reading for Club 3333 in October. I think I'm going to do that probably around the first week of October. So if you have stuff you want me to read on for free, it's live. It's on a Zoom. Everybody will hear your question and answer. So it's one of those, and it doesn't take the place of an in-depth reading. But if you have little things you want me to look at, join Club 3333 because we're going to be doing that in October. Every once in a while, I do. I try to do it about once a quarter, so about 4 times a year. I do readings for Club 3333, so you guys don't have to book a full reading if you don't want to. Okay, on that note, I'm out of here. Wish me luck. I hope this thing doesn't, sometimes it can whoop your ass. I hope it doesn't. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you soon. I don't know when I'm going to see you, but it'll be soon. It will be soon. And goodbye.